We're concerned with sound vibration that has spiritual depth. The physical imitation of the holy name is not the proper name. It is not Shabda Brahma, divine sound. Only imitation sound may come from the plane of mundane conception. The holy name of Krishna means divine sound. It must have some spiritual background. Something spiritual must be distributed through the physical sound. In the case of a capsule of medicine, the capsule is not the medicine. The medicine is within. Externally, one capsule may look like another, but within one capsule there may be medicine, and within another there may be cyanide. The capsule itself is not the medicine, so it is not the sound of Krishna's name that is Krishna. Krishna is within the sound. The holy name must be surcharged with a proper spirit, not any mundane sentiment. Even the followers of the impersonal Shankara school have faith that the name is not confined within the jurisdiction of physical sound. They consider it to be within the mental plane, within the plane of Sattva Gun. Unfortunately, they think that the holy name is a product of Maya, or misconception, and so they conclude that the names of Hari, Krishna, Kali and Shiva are all one and the same. The Ramakrishna mission and the Shankara school both preach in that way. That conception also has its origin in the plane of misunderstanding. The divine sound of the pure name Shuddhanama must have its origin beyond the area of misconception or Maya. The extent of Maya is up to the highest planet in the material world, Satyaloka. Beyond Satyaloka is the Vairaj river and the world of consciousness, Brahmaloka, and then the spiritual sky, Paravyoma. The pure name of Krishna must have its origin in Paravyoma, the spiritual sky. And if we are to examine it further, the holy name of Krishna really comes from the most original plane of all existence, Braja, Goloka. According to this understanding, the sound must have its origin in the highest plane of the spiritual world, in Vrindavan, if it is to be considered the genuine name of Krishna. The physical sound is not the holy name of Krishna. A true conception of the holy name is necessary, not only to free us from this world of misconception, but also for the attainment of service to Krishna in Vrindavan. Only that true name of Krishna, which has its origin in the plane of Vrindavan, can lift us up and take us there. Otherwise, although the spirit is within the name, if the sound we vibrate is based on any other conception, it may only take us to that layer of conception. This is quite scientific. It is not unreasonable. The mere word Krishna is not the holy name. What is important is the meaning of that sound and the depth of meaning, the deep conception of the meaning of the name. That is everything. It is all important in serving our purpose. There's a nice story that illustrates this point. When our spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, was a young boy, both he and his father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, went to visit the holy place of Kalinagrama, which is located in the Hooghly district near Calcutta. Kalinagrama was a village where the great devotee Haridas Thakur, as well as other famous Vaishnavas, used to live, and was the home of 4 generations of devotees. They went to visit that ancient holy place. And just on the outskirts of Kalinagrama, as they were entering the village, they passed an old temple. Suddenly a man came out of the temple and humbly asked them, "Please stay the night here. In the morning you may enter the village and take darshan of all the places there." Bhaktivinoda Thakur and our Guru Maharaj, who at that time was a young boy, stayed the night in that temple house. Just after nightfall, as they were resting, Bhaktivinoda Thakur experienced something unusual. He found that brickbats were being thrown about from different directions. He thought, how is this happening and why? Who would throw brickbats like this? Then he had some apprehension that there might be ghosts living there, creating disturbances. He began loudly chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. After some time the disturbance disappeared, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati passed the rest of the night there peacefully. It's a very famous show. I love this.
I heard it was published in the newspaper.
Yes, it was. It was published. It became very famous. Very famous. It built the reputation of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, you know. In the morning, they entered the village and began visiting different holy places. After some time, one of the local gentlemen noticed them and said, "You entered our village early this morning. Where do you come from? And where did you spend the night?" Bhakti Vinod Thakur explained, "We stayed in that temple just outside the village there." One of them said, "Oh, how could you stay there? So many ghosts live there and throw stones and bricks at anyone who passes by that place at night. How could you stay there?" Then Bhakti Vinod Thakur said, "Yes, you are right. But when I found such a disturbance there, I began to loudly chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and subsequently the problem disappeared. The men of the village then asked Bhakti Vinod, 'Who are you, and where are you coming from?' When they came to know that he was Bhakti Vinod Thakur, they had already heard of him, and some of them had read his books. They welcomed the two of them and showed them all the holy places they had not yet seen. At one point they said to Bhakti Vinod Thakur, 'The gentleman who was formerly the priest of that temple was transformed into a ghost after his departure. Since that time we have regularly seen the disturbances caused by that ghost. Why did he become a ghost? As the priest of that temple, he used to regularly chant the holy name of Krishna. We are witness to that fact. We have all heard him. Why was he turned into a ghost? We cannot understand this. Please explain.' Bhakti Vinod Thakur told them that the priest must have only repeated the syllables of the name, the Nama Akshara. What he was producing was only a Mayak sound, a physical lip-deep sound. It did not have the spiritual essence. The life of the name was absent when he was chanting. It was Namaparad, offensive chanting. Bhakti Vinod Thakur asked them, what was his character? They said, "He was not a good man. He committed many sinful acts. That we know, but we can't deny the fact that he used to chant the name of the Lord almost always. How could he become a ghost?" See, there you go, you see. He's committing offences on the basis of the holy name. He's, committing sinful activities in the strength of the holy name. It's a big offence. Huge, huge offence. Yes. Bhakti Vinod Thakur explained that the physical sound of the name is not the proper name. Not the name proper. The priest had been committing offences to the holy name, Namaparad, and as a result became a ghost. They asked, then how can he be released from that wretched condition? Bhakti Vinod said, if he meets a bona fide sadhu who has a genuine connection with Krishna and hears the real name or the proper explanation of Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam from his lips, then he may be released from his ghostly condition. It is mentioned in the scriptures that it is the only way to become free from the entanglement of material nature. After this discussion, Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur left Kulinagram. From that day on, all the troubles caused by the ghost at the temple in Kulinagrama ceased. The villagers were astonished. One of them said, that priest who had become a ghost must have been released from his ghostly condition after hearing the holy name chanted by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. When the trouble began, Bhakti Vinod loudly chanted the name, and gradually by hearing the holy name of Krishna from his holy lips, that suppressed soul has been liberated from his condition as a ghost. After that, many people journeyed to see Bhakti Vinod Thakur. They would tell him, we are confident that you are a great Vaishnava. After hearing the holy name of Krishna from your lips, a ghost has been released. This story was published in the newspapers, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada used to recount this story of his own experience with Bhakti Vinod Thakur. The potency of the power name, the pure name chanting can destroy anything, can change everything. You have to have faith in that, full faith. The point is that simply the external sound of the name is not the real name. The most important thing is the spiritual realization backing the name. That is the real name. That's what matters. It's your sentiment, humility, tolerance, giving respect and honor to others. All these things that are pathways. The spiritual world, sincerity, and some service mood that you have to have. That you are chanting for the Lord's pleasure, not for your own, for His satisfaction. The most important thing is the spiritual realization backing the name. That is the real name. Otherwise a tape recorder can produce that holy name of Krishna. Even a parrot can pronounce the name, but the physical sound is not the thing itself. In the background there must be spiritual truth, which is conscious. That super knowledge is beyond the knowledge of this mundane plane. Supramental Nama. This understanding is confirmed by Rupa Goswami Prabhu in his verse, Ata Shri Krishna Namadi Nabhavad Grahyam Indrahi Sivan Mukhahi Jivado Swayameva Spurati Adaha. He says that Krishna's name, form, qualities and eternal associates, everything about him is not mundane but purely spiritual. It cannot be perceived by our gross senses. Simply by vibrating the sound Krishna, our tongues cannot produce Krishna. Our noses cannot catch the transcendental fragrance of his body. Our eyes cannot have vision of his beautiful figure, which is supramental. This is true not only for our physical senses, but for the mind also. Our minds cannot conceive of Krishna. He is transcendental and supramental. His existence transcends all the knowledge in our possession. We cannot be the subject and make Krishna our object. He is the subject. He exists beyond the Atma and the Paramatma. We should never forget that. We should always be mindful of the plane in which he exists. As finite souls, we are tatashta jivas, the marginal potency of the Lord. The tiny soul can think and know only those things which are more gross than himself. But in trying to know that which is more subtle than himself, he is helpless. A connection with the higher spiritual realm is only possible when the higher area wants to bring the lower up to that plane. Therefore, to understand him is possible only through surrender. Sevan mukhe hi jivado. So that's the necessity for Guru, because it comes through Guru. Guru would transmit it, and you have to serve and surrender to the Guru. If we can accept the current of surrender, if we can die as we are and surrender our innermost self at his disposal, his will can easily carry us up to the spiritual platform. Our soul will become as a blade of grass in that current, and so be carried up into the center of the infinite. It is not that we can enter there and walk proudly, as we do here in this gross material world. Here we walk on our feet. There we shall walk with our heads. Only by the, which is true, it's true, you laugh, and it is true, because when you're a spiritual body, you can do anything with any part of your body. Krishna can eat with his arm, with his leg, you know. Anything you can do there. I can't imagine it, what it must be like. But anyway, we take it on faith that it's true. Everything there is qualitatively higher than our own existence. The substance of that divine realm, the atmosphere, the air, the ether, everything there is higher than any value we might have. Only those with a sincere spirit of service may be allowed to enter there. And there they will be taken to the highest position of divine love by the residents of that plane, who are venerable, generous, affectionate, and filled with good wishes. We have as our prospect the chance to go there, but always as a matter of grace, and never as a matter of right. We must accept this creed from the beginning. Still, the atmosphere there is so happy and loving that no one there feels any distinction between slave and master. A slave there has no sense of being a slave. Everyone is family. Having attained the state of divine slavery, one should consider, I am a slave. The generosity of Krishna and his eternal associates is my wealth. But by the power of Yoga Maya, those who are taken up into that plane forget that they are slaves. That is the greatness and magnanimity of the atmosphere, where love is intensely flowing. It is really by their love, and not by our own fortune, that we may somehow gain entrance into that high and noble land. It's their love towards us that drags us up. We just have to reciprocate, surrender and serve. But to realize this, we must realize the spiritual position of Krishna's name, form and eternal associates. Krishna's name is not material. We cannot capture the name of Krishna simply by vibrating the syllables of the name with our tongue. Ravana wanted to capture Sita Devi and thought he had done so, but the fact was that he could not even touch the holy body of Sita Devi. What Ravana captured was only a mundane representation of Sita Devi, a material double, an imitation which was like a statue of Sita Devi. Sita Devi herself is another thing. She's not made of flesh and blood. For a person here in this world, Sita Devi and her divine plane is not at all approachable. The mundane person cannot see, feel or enter that plane, what to speak of the possibility of snatching Sita Devi and taking her away. The scriptures have explained that Sita's capture was all show. Ravana was cheated. Of course, the apparent kidnapping of Sita by Ravana was done to serve some purpose, to teach something to the people of this mundane world. But in the real sense, no Ravana can come in connection with any of the eternal associates of the Lord who are living in Vaikuntha. In the same way, no mundane person can touch the Vaikuntha name simply by imitating its sound. Recently, I was asked about a young boy who had been killed in an accident. I was told that he shouted the name of Krishna at the time of death. I was asked, what was his destination? I explained that whether one is young or old in the plane of flesh and blood is no qualification for spiritual attainment. One's mentality must be examined. According to the particular time and place and the conception of the person involved, that sound may be the genuine name, or it may be Namabhas, a shadow of the real name. When Gandhi was shot, he cried, Rama, Rama. He was shot in the chest and his spectacles were thrown into the street. Within half an hour he passed away, but he pronounced the words Rama, Rama. He was on his way to deliver a religious lecture, but his mentality was full of thoughts of national progress. So in his case, the vibration of the name may have worked in the plane of nation building. To understand a person's destination at the time of death, we must ask, what was his mentality? There's that famous slogan, Yam Yam Vapi Smaram Bhavan, Chajadanti Kalevaram, Tam Tam Evidi Kontaya, Satadad Bhava Bhavita. What you think at the time of death will be your destination. That's what it's referring here. Sometimes chanting the name may result in Namabhas, the shadow of the name. Whether or not it is Shuddhanama, the genuine name, depends on the mental system of the person chanting the name. It depends on his relation towards Krishna, his intention. A few days before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he was chanting Gopi, Gopi, Gopi. Hearing this, a tantric brahmana came to give him some advice to the Lord. Pandit, he said, you are a scholar, you know the scriptures, still you are chanting the name Gopi, Gopi. What benefit will you get from that? The scriptures say that if you chant the name of Krishna, you may get some benefit. You will find this in many places in the scriptures, especially in the Puranas. Why then do you chant Gopi, Gopi? Angered at the Brahmana's ignorance, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the mood of a follower of the gopis, picked up a stick and began to rebuke him. You come from the enemy camp to convert us to the followers of Krishna. He ran after the Brahmana to beat him with his stick. In this example we find that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chanting Gopi, Gopi and neglecting the name of Krishna. Apparently he was advised to take the name of Krishna and became enraged. But what is the underlying thought there? If we're to understand the effect of someone's chanting of the holy name, we must examine his underlying purpose. Sometimes this chanting may have some effect, but not always. Still, Srila Jiva Goswami mentions the following example as evidence that the holy name may have some effect, even if one is unaware of its full meaning. So that's how you progress. You don't know at first what it really means, but if you have some sincerity, some affection, some faith and surrender and service, then it will produce some effect. So that's progress. Once a wild boar attacked a Mohammedan, and the Mohammedan cried, "Harama, Harama." Harama means that abominable hog. On the other hand, Ha-Rama means the Lord who has allowed a hog to attack me. Somehow Lord Rama was invoked, and the holy name had a divine influence on the Mohammedan, who attained liberation. Another example given in the scriptures is that of Valmiki. Before becoming a saint, the sage Valmiki was a dacoit. That great Saint Narad had a plan to benefit him. Narad thought, this person is the most notorious and heinous dacoit I have ever seen. Let me experiment with him to see the potency of the holy name. He took mercy on him. Okay? I shall ask him to chant the holy name of Rama. He tried, but Valmiki could not pronounce the holy name of Rama because he was so, fallen. This is fact. Then Narad told him to chant Mara, the word for murder. Instead, the dacoit said, "Yes, I can do this. This is just the opposite of the name of Rama." He was quite excited by it. He began to chant Mara, 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 Rama, 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 Rama. In this way, for some time, Mara became Rama. Valmiki began to chant the name of Rama, and gradually his mental attitude changed. So it is possible for the name to have an effect on someone, even if he has no proper conception of its meaning, if delivered by a pure devotee and he has some sukriti in that sense. This is then called namabhas, the shadow of the name. It can affect liberation. But the real devotee is not interested in liberation. He wants to enter the domain of divine service. The sound and its effect depends upon the attitude we accept and the quality we can conceive, because the actual Vaikuntha Nama is infinite. In that plane, the divine name is equal to the substance named. When the sound aspect is one and the same with the original aspect of the thing, that is Vaikuntha Nama. Here in this world, a blind man's name may be Padmalochan, lotus-eyed, but really he may be blind. The name and the figure may be entirely different, but in Vaikuntha, the infinite world, the name and the named are one and the same. Yet to experience the Vaikuntha Nam, one must avoid both Namaparad, offences to the holy name, and Namabhas, the shadow of the holy name. By Namabhas we get some relief from this worldly bondage. By Namaparad we may become entangled in this Mayic world. But the ordinary physical sound cannot represent the real name, which is supernatural. It is said that one name of Krishna can remove more ignorance and sin than a man has the power to commit. But what is the quality of that one name? We may chant the physical name of Krishna so many times without getting the result of even one real name. There is a great difference between the ordinary sound of the name, the superficial Mayic name, and the pure name. The pure name is one and the same with Krishna. That descends down to our level only by His grace. We cannot vibrate it simply by dint of our moving our tongue and our lips. The pure name of Krishna is not lip deep, but heart deep, and it ultimately goes beyond the heart and reaches the land of Krishna. When Krishna comes down, the name Krishna comes through the heart and moves the lips and tongue. That vibration is the holy name of Krishna Nama. Jai. That's what we were speaking about today with the conversion of Prakshananda Saraswati. We have to make ourselves a clean recipient so that the name will descend into us and take over. And that's kind of scary, really, you know, it's like, in a way. That's what it means, die to live. It's like, whoa. Something very deep. And we pray it all descends to all of us one day. When Krishna, in the form of sound, descends from the transcendental world into the heart, and from the heart, controlling every aspect of the nervous system, comes to the lips and begins dancing there, that is Krishna Nam. The initiative is in the transcendental world. That sound is not produced from the physical plane. Spiritual sound has come down into this plane. You can come down, but we cannot so easily go up there. Here's the super subject. We are an object to him. We cannot interfere with his independence. Only by the negative power of surrender can we attract the supreme positive to come down to our level. It's the only way. Surrender and serve. There's no other way. And so the holy name is not a production of our senses. It can be realized only when we approach him with a very intense serving attitude. At that time, Krishna himself may come down by his grace, being attracted by our serving nature. Then he can influence this element and produce transcendental sound and dance within the mundane plane. That is the holy name, the Vaikuntha Nam, the real name of Krishna. We cannot produce it with our lips. The sound we create with our physical or mental production is not Krishna. He is independent from whatever sound we may produce, and yet because he controls everything, he can appear anywhere, in any form, in any plane, in any sound. And this is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, text 6. Krishna says, way. In this way he can in the realm of sound as the holy name. The real importance of the name is not to be found merely in the syllables, but in quite quickly. But above these considerations, our Sampradaya has given another, higher consideration. A deeper understanding will reveal that the Hare Krishna mantra is not at all concerned with Rama Leela. In the name of Rama within the Hare Krishna mantra, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas will find Radha Ramana Rama. That means Krishna who gives pleasure, Raman, to Srimati Radharani. In our conception, the Hare Krishna mantra is wholesale Krishna consciousness, not Rama consciousness. Sri Chaitanya's highest conception of things is always Svayam Bhagavan Krishna Leela, Radha Govinda Leela. That is the real purpose of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's advent and teachings. In that consideration, the Hare Krishna mantra does not mention the Rama Leela of Ayodhya at all. There is no conception with that in the highest conception of the Hare Krishna mantra. And the inner conception of the mantra is responsible for our spiritual attainment. So if we have this inner conception, we have to keep this when we are chanting, what we are doing. That's what Srila Sridhar Maharaj is saying here, that our conception as we are chanting must be very, very deep. And we have to pray for that to descend to us. Not get it, but we have to wish it above our heads and wait it to descend. And the inner conception of the mantra is responsible for our spiritual attainment. When one pronounces the name Rama, if he means Dasarati Rama, this attraction will take him there, to Ayodhya. If he means Parashurama, he'll be attracted to another place. And if Rama means Radha Ramana Rama, he will go to Goloka. The inner conception of the devotee will guide him to his destination. My original name was Ramendra Chandra. When I was given initiation, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave me the name Ramendra Sundara. I asked him, what is the meaning of Ramendra? He told me, in our consideration, Rama does not mean Dasarati Rama or Lord Ramachandra, the son of King Dasaratha. It means Radha Ramana Rama, Krishna, the lover of Radharani. That was the name he was given at birth by some divine, transcendental, miraculous way. The name Hare may also mean different things according to one's conception. That the meaning of the word Hare in the mantra is taken to mean Radharani is also determined according to the spiritual development or qualification, adhikar, of the chanter. When one is firmly established in conceiving of Radha Krishna in the background of everything, when one finds Svayam Rupa, the original form of Godhead, underlying all sorts of conceptions of all things good, then only will he find that sort of meaning and nothing else. For beginners, the word Hare and the Hare Krishna mantra can be conceived to mean Hari. That is one meaning. It may also mean Nrsingadev. And just as Rama can mean Dasaratha Rama, Krishna may refer to different types of Krishna. There's also Krishna in Vaikuntha, where the Vaibhavas are extensions of the Lord, number 24. In Vaikuntha, first there is Narayan, and then 4 extensions, Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. Each of these four has 5 agents, making 24 in all. One of these is the Krishna of Vaikuntha. Then there is the Dwarka and the Krishna of Mathura. In this way there are various conceptions of Krishna, but the highest conception of Krishna is Krishna in Vrindavan. When one cannot remove himself from that plane, he will conceive of divinity only as Hari Hara. He will see nothing else but Radha Krishna. Those who are completely and perfectly installed in Madhura Ras, who have the highest kind of divine vision, cannot come down from that plane. If they do, it is only for the interest of Radha Govinda. In that case, the devotee may go anywhere, but his real interest is under lock and key in Vrindavan. Only on behalf of the service of Radha Govinda will a devotee leave Vrindavan. Wow. Phew. For those who are followers of the Vrindavan line, Hare in the Hare Krishna mantra can only mean Hara. Srimati Radharani. Hara means Radha, who can even snatch the attention of Krishna. The word Harana means to steal. One who can steal the mind of he who is most expert in stealing. Who can steal even the mind of Krishna. She is the Hara. Stealing in its highest capacity is shown by Radharani. And Krishna means he who is most attractive in the absolute sense. They are both represented in the mantra. This is incredibly deep, you know. It really is, you know. But we have to worship it. The followers of the Rupa Nuga Sampradaya can never deviate from that consciousness in their chanting of the Maha Mantra. And with this conception, they go on the service of Hari Hara, Radha Krishna. They absorb themselves in Radha Dasyam. They cannot think of anything else but that. And once having fully attained that plane, they can never come down from that level, from the interest of Radha Krishna. They cannot allow themselves to be out of that circle. That is the position of our highest aspiration, and according to a devotee's adhikar or spiritual qualification, that sort of meaning will awaken in one's mind. It will be awakened, discovered by sadhana, and at that time, at the time of the covering of the heart will be removed, and divine love will spontaneously spring up from the fountain of the heart as the inner function of the soul. Wow. I will mention one or two things here. I went on parikrama to Dwarka, and there is the pastimes of Krishna and Dwarka, but there are certain pastimes within that Dwarka Leela, which is his Kshatriya Leela. He's with his queens and he's living very opulently and he's performing pastimes. But the inner meaning of even the Dwarka Leela points towards Vrindavan. And there is the pastime where Rukmini, Krishna's principal queen, was speaking to other queens. She wants to speak about something she's learned of the inner pastimes of Krishna. And she asks Subhadra, who's present, to stand at the door to guard the door so that nobody can hear, nobody can enter and come in and hear the pastimes. But Subhadra is merciful. She's there with Krishna and Balaram. And she leaves the door ajar. And Krishna and Balaram and Subhadra are hearing these high pastimes. And they perform a particular leela which we cannot understand. There's so much ecstasy that Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Raja ki Jai, Jai Srila Bhakti Maharaj ki Jai, Jai devotees ki Jai. So high is this that they withdraw their limbs into their body. It's the first indication of the deity's Lord Jagannath. That's one thing that's being indicated in Dwarka Leela. That's the first time it's manifest. And there's yet another Leela. And it's the Leela of when Rukmini said, I cannot satisfy Krishna's heart. How is it possible? Even when he's sleeping he's calling, or he's mentioning Radharani's name. I have to understand this. I have to talk to her, and how can I serve Krishna? So she calls for Radharani to come from Vrindavan. And she comes, and the queens are there, the most beautiful beings on the planet, you know, with silks and jewels and ghee jai. Comes in, and they can't believe it. There's this cowherd girl, and she's fulgent, she's glowing, but she's dressed as an ordinary cowherd girl. How is this possible? And it's explained she comes with her gopi friends, and she explains many things to Rukmini. When Krishna tells her, Krishna confirms, if you want to understand service, the mood, the highest mood, serve me, you have to go to Vrindavan and surrender to Radharani. This is what he's told. And when we were in Dwarka, there is a particular place of pilgrimage. It's a Radha Gopinath temple. It's very small. It doesn't, you know, it's not a grand temple or anything, but it's very special. And they've had a drought in Dwarka there for a year, on the lake where the gopis took bath in this particular lake, and it was completely bereft of water. And there's nothing but Gopi Chandan there. It's the real original. It's like real original Gopi Chandan that you could get, and this year you could get it by the kilo, and they were selling it 10 pence a kilo. I didn't buy any myself. I felt I was not qualified to put this on myself. But I went there and made my obeisances and what have you. So even though the highest Dwarka pastimes indicate Vrindavan Leela, Radha Leela. So I just wanted to conclude with that, share that with you. So it's quite remarkable. Those are my takeaways, biggest takeaways from the Dwarka parikrama that we did. Srila Acharya Maharaj spoke about many of these things, how, and that's why he took us there to indicate that's where we go. Nityananda went to Dwarka. I don't know if Mahaprabhu went there, but Nityananda certainly did anyway. It's amazing. Hare Krishna. Thank you for allowing me to speak this. It's wonderful to speak it.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Wow. Yeah, it's quite something. Hare Krishna. Somebody please sing Hare Raya. Lead it. Someone? You want to sing? Hare Raya, go ahead.
Which page?
60.
Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Srimati Sudana. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana. Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra. Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Rupa Sanatana Dasa Raghunatha. Jiva Gopala Bhakta Dasa Raghunatha. Jai Goshai Gori Charana Vandana. Nate Vignana Shadishta Purana. Jai Goshai Muni Tanda Dasa. Sabara Pada Renu Mura Panchagrasa. Devi Kona Chana Basa Janama Janama Me Abhilasha Jai Kushai Javi Koya Shabhavasa Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakasha Ananda Bola Hari Bhaja Vrindavana Shri Guru Vaishnava Madhava Jayamana Guru Vaishnava Madhuri Koriyasha Nijas Karintani Narottama Dasa Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Hare Hare Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Sabrakari Shishi Guru Granga Radha Giridaju Ki Jai. Jai Vishnu Principari Vrakachari Vashtotara Shata Shishimad Bhakti Yoga Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Vishnu Principari Vrakachari Vashtotara Shata Shishimad Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Vishnu Principari Vrakachari Vashtotara Shata Shishimad Bhakti Vakakshiri Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Vishnu Principari Vrakachari Vashtotara Shata Shishimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnuvad Srila Gauri Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnuvad Srila Satyanand Bhaktivinoda Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnuvad Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namachara Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Nandikota Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Shri Baladev Vidyabhushan Ki Jai. Srila Vishnuvat Chakravarti Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Narottam Shamananda Srinivasacharya Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Krishna Das Kaviraj Ki Jai. Sabashah Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Sabashah Shri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shraddha Bhakti Vigna Vinishaya Shri Nishingadev Ki Jai. Bhakta Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Ganga Jamuna Ji Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Vishwa Vaishnava Raja Sabha Ki Jai. Akara Mat Raja Shri Chaitanya Mat Ki Jai. Tadiya Shaka Mat Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Vishwa Vyapi Tadiya Shaka Mat Ki Jai. Shri Ram Mayapur Ki Jai. Shri Ram Navadvip Ki Jai. Vrindavan Purushottam Dham Ki Jai. Baladev Subhadra Jagannath Ji Ki Jai. Shri Govinda Kund Ki Jai. Shri Shiva Gangadaju Ki Jai. Samaveta Vaishnava Mandala Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Jai Go Pramanande, Hari Hari Bo. Jai Devotees Ki Jai, Jai Shri